What's going on, guys? Run Good Vapes here. We are going to be taking a look at the Aspire Cleito tank. I'm hearing reviews after reviews after reviews. Most people are raving about this. They absolutely love it. It's a lot of people's new favorite tank. But then I watched a Grim Green video and he just completely bashes this. He's not a big fan of it. He says flavor tastes like rubber bands. So I have used this heavily for almost a month now. I've actually used 4 different units. So I've put a lot of research into this tank because it has become one of my, if not my all-time favorite tanks. So I wanted to make sure I was truly getting the experience to relay to you guys. I am under the assumption now that Grim Green must have received like a prior to official release version, because there were some differences between his and mine and those that have come out to the marketplace. And every other video I've watched has just raved about this. And Grim Green is usually awesome and right on point. So I'm sure the unit he received just wasn't up to par. But I have used this heavily for a month. So I'm going to bring you guys exactly what I think about this Cleito, why I'm using it every single day. But we'll get to that at the end of the video. Right now, let's take you guys up close with Cleito and then we'll talk about it. Okay, guys, so we are going to go up close with the Aspire Cleito. Please remember, this tank has been heavily used. I've used about 3 or 4 of these, but this one is going to be a used tank. As I open this, you'll see I've kind of destroyed the paper, but pretty good packaging, pretty simple for a tank. I like the skinny, tall, just simple, simplistic design. In the back, it's just got a long message about introducing the Cleito with a revolutionary new coil and chimney combination, blah, blah, blah. Tells you what you're getting it. I'm going to show that. Also, the authenticity scratch and check for Aspire, so you know you got the real deal here. But we're going to go ahead and open this up. There's a little piece of tape here. We're just going to take that off. But after that's off, this pops up. This would usually be connected to this. It just ripped off prior to the video. Like I said, I've used this pretty heavily, but you're going to get the tank. We'll go over that here in a second. And then underneath here, you're going to have the other coil, spare glass, and then these chimney caps. Well, they're going to give you a vape band, an Aspire vape band. Aspire to be Aspire. But you're also going to get these chimney caps. I'm going to show you guys what these do here before we go over the coils in the tanks. It's actually a pretty neat feature. These chimney caps just go over the drip tip here. If I can get this on around the camera. There we go. And then they are just going to pop over the chimney. In fact, let's take this off. I want to show you guys this because it's actually pretty awesome what they did here. I'm really glad they included these. I've seen a review where Grim Green just bashed these, but I've used them quite a bit, and I don't know if he just received a... yeah, we've talked about that. I won't bore you with that again. But you put this chimney cap over the chimney here. I like that it's tight. It might be a little difficult to get on at first, but I'll show you why that's worth it. After this chimney cap is on and you've screwed it in, you get it down here nice and flush, that is going to eliminate all the heat that's coming off that coil. Since this entire chamber is the coil, this chimney cap, when you're putting your mouth on the drip tip here, this chimney cap will reduce the heat. It does tend to get hot because the entire chamber is the coil. So these chimney caps just reduce the heat. You can put your mouth on here. It's not going to get as hot. That chimney cap's kind of creating, blockage for that heat. I really enjoy these. I heard Grim Green say that when he used it, it got gooey, it got condensation. I have never had a problem, and I've used these quite a bit. One reason I use this tank heavily before I put up this video, just because I did fall so in love with it so quickly. I wanted to make sure it wasn't just a fad for me, that it was as good of a tank as I believe it is. But you get those chimney caps in black, blue, orange, and red, as you see. We'll put those off to the side with that neat little vape band. But that's kind of cool. Depending on the color of your mod, you can kind of mix up the top cap. I kind of like that. You're not going to be able to switch this drip tip out just because of the kind of drip tip it is. You can put a 510 in here, however. It'll fit right into the middle of this and then just be a little elevated. I have not had a single problem with the drip tip that's on here. Another thing is there was a really fat O-ring here on Grim Greens. And I'm wondering if he just had like a pre-market version and it wasn't officially complete, because this 510 is unbelievable. I have no problem with this drip tip whatsoever. But let's go ahead and take this apart. We're going to take the top cap off. And this top fill, you guys are going to see this just screws right onto the top of the coil, makes a connection with the glass and holds it in. The bottom doesn't screw in. The bottom, the glass just pops off, rests on the O-ring there. Haven't had a problem with it whatsoever. So when you tighten this onto the top of the coil, it's going to hold that glass right in place. And you do have to turn this quite a few times, but totally worth it to get that pure connection there. But let's take that off. You're going to see the glass pops off, and your entire chamber is this coil, kind of like the old Clearmisers. But such a simplistic design. You're going to see those juice flow holes are massive. This coil has been used for almost a month, and I'm still getting great flavor. I think it's near the end of the life, just because as I prep for this video, I'm starting to see that cotton is getting a little darker. But it's been 3 weeks of extremely heavy use. I've been using this tank almost exclusively in my daily vaping. I'm still getting unbelievable flavor. But that whole entire coil just unscrews from the bottom, and that's your whole chamber from top to bottom. From the bottom all the way up to your drip tip, that coil is your chamber. Absolutely love it. This is the 0.2. I'm still getting unbelievable flavor out of it, so I'm going to leave this in here. This tank, the Cleito, is going to come with a 0.2 and a 0.4. I had the 0.4 in here. I switched it out to try the 0.2 at work. So I actually have two 0.2s here, but you're going to come with a 0.2 and a 0.4. The 0.4 is rated between, I believe, 40 and 60 watts. The 0.2, as it says right on the coil, is going to be 55 to 70. I'm going to let you know that is a very inaccurate rating. I don't even know why they put that on there. I run this at 75, 80. My boss runs this at 100 pretty consistently with absolutely no dry hits whatsoever. Beautiful flavor. Coils lasted him almost a month running it at 100 watts almost all the time. So I don't know why they put 55 to 70 on here. It can definitely overperform that with the size of the juice flow. With the inside of here is a Clapton, a spaced Clapton. Both 0.4 and a 0.2 are spaced Claptons. So you can run those higher. I think they failed on measuring, labeling the wattage there. Just because they are very good performers at higher wattage. I don't think I've vaped below 70 watts on this since I've got it. And like I said, we're coming up on a month of constant vaping with this. The airflow on these is massive. All the way around you got airflow. You got 4 airflows. And you can shut those off. I've heard some people are going about halfway. I still leave mine wide open, but massive airflow. It's going to be 4.5 mils. I've heard some people that have tested this with the syringe are getting close to 5. There's just so much room. I mean, this top fill is unbelievable. It is so easy to fill up with juice. In fact, I'm going to show you. We are going to fill up with the Rocket here by Stash Vape. And you can use glass, you can use plastic. I'm going to show you just how truly easy this is. Check this out. I'm just going to pour this straight in. And you're not getting any down the middle. So, you don't even have to be nice with it. And that just fills up so smooth. You can fill it up all the way to the top because that entire chamber is a coil. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, but it's just such an easy, clean look. It's an easy, clean tank to operate. It performs amazing. It is definitely my new favorite. But yeah, you got the spare glass and everything else that we've gone over. Let's go back up, we'll talk on it, and we'll get you guys out of here. So guys, that was the up close on the Aspire Cleito. So now let's talk about the pros and the cons for you. There are a lot of pros to this. First pro, let's just go top to bottom. I like the drip tip. It does get a little hot if you're not going to use those chimney caps. If you're chain vaping, just because, as I've said multiple times, the entire chamber is the coil. So from top to bottom is the coil. That drip tip is going to go a little hot. If you're down to use those chimney caps, do it. It does prevent that and allows you to chain vape a little more without that getting overly hot. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it getting warm as long as I'm not like chain vaping for a half an hour or anything. But I'm using this as my daily, regularly. I'm vaping on it all day. I'm having no problem with the heat. The second pro for me is going to be the capacity, 4.5 or greater, as we've discussed. You get a lot of juice in there. You can vape on it for quite a while. Another pro is going to be that juice, the juice flow to go into that coil. They're such large, skinny juice flows that they're exceptional at getting the entire cotton wet. I've never, ever, I know you can't believe this, I've gone up to 100 watts, even 105. I've never gotten a dry hit on this tank. Unbelievable performance. With that airflow, the vapor production, you can get pretty exceptional vapor production. I mean, sick. For something that looks so smooth, so clean, designed so well, that airflow is massive. Huge, huge pro for me. I like my airflows wide open. Man. And those Clapton coils that come inside allow the flavor is just so incredibly rich. The cotton is such elongated inside there that there's a lot of contact point, and the flavor is so rich, so pure. It is just an unbelievable tank. The last pro is just going to be the simplicity of the design. Very easy tank to fill. You can fill it as much as you want. Take this off, take it on, put it on. I've never had a drop leak out the airflow. I don't even get condensation buildup like I do with the Crown. I mean, there is zero coming out of that airflow. And this is after heavy use for almost a month. Unbelievably blown away by what Aspire has done with this tank. It has replaced the Crown for me. I have multiples now. I will probably get a couple more just because I like having one on every device right now. I'm super, super stoked. Ignore that 55 to 70 watts. I mean, you can easily go up to 100 without getting dry hits. Very, 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 very high performer here. Highly recommended. I'm going to have some price points. You can order it online. About $20 at multiple places. In your shops, $30 to $35 I think is a very fair price. If they have them, get them. I know at our shop we sold out like that. We're putting another giant order, but they're going fast. And these coils are lasting forever. Very, very stoked about this Cleito. Aspire has finally hit a home run with the tank. Look at it. It's just, the flavor is so rich and the cloud's so strong. I've vaped Max VG on this very regularly. A lot of my all-day vapes are Max VG. Still have never gotten a dry hit on multiple units. Not just this particular unit, but multiple different Cleitos. All performed very, very well. Multiple coils I've tried. This one has been, I keep putting it back in because I want to see how long it's going to go. Very, very high performer. I highly, highly, highly recommend the Cleito. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. We've got so much stuff coming at you. It's not even funny. Working towards 1,000 subscribers here. Let's get that done. We've only got a couple hundred more. If you didn't like what you hear, hit the thumbs down. Let me know what you think about this Cleito. If there's something you don't like, let me know. I want to know. This is my daily tank now, and that says a lot. You guys know I liked the Heracles Plus, leakage problems. I liked the Crown a lot. It was my daily until this Cleito came out. And I'm saying the Cleito not just surpasses the Crown, but surpasses it by quite a bit. Big, big fan of the Cleito. New #1 by far. As always, guys. Vape on.